Hi everyone, my name is Julie and I'm from Mountain Goat Yoga. This class is a Yoga Warriors class. It was requested by a few students who are having a hard time navigating this situation that we're in. This is still part of our COVID-19 series, and everyone deals with stress in so many different ways that my hope is that this class will give you some tools to help you navigate what the situation calls for at this moment. Biggest fear, of course, is the unknown, and that's pretty, normal. So I hope that you enjoyed this class, and just to give you a little bit of feedback on what this class looks like, primarily there's affirmations. I repeat an affirmation and then we repeat it together 3 times. Of course, being solo in the room today, I'll be doing all that on my own, but it is really highly recommended that you repeat the affirmation 3 times out loud. It allows you to be more focused on what is being said and more present, and it really does keep you in the moment, and it allows you to be able to reflect on the words. The affirmations go hand in hand with the pose, so you'll always have the same type of pose with the same affirmation. And then we always do what's called the wood chopper exercise, followed by the breath of joy, and that is meant to help release the deep emotions that we hold in our muscle tissue. You're going to need, if you don't have a block at home, you can use a hard-covered book, or even a jar of tomato sauce, or something, something that's pretty high. And then you're also going to need a strap. But if you don't have a strap, you're welcome to use the belt that holds your house coat, because it's pretty much a really good size. And or if you have long legs, you could even tie 2 of the house coat belts together. So you can hit the pause button and go and find that. And then you'll have to have a mat that's up against a wall. Get your stuff ready, and we are going to begin. We're going to take time here just to set up. So you're going to have your blanket, and you'll have that underneath your head. So this is where we're going to start, and I'm going to turn around here for a moment so you'll just be able to see the back of my body. But your blanket is there to support your head, and you'll have your strap handy. You're going to position yourself on your mat so that your feet are actually touching the wall. So your heels are touching the wall, your toes are pointing in a direction that feels comfortable for you, so don't worry too much about that. And then just allow yourself here to come into your Shavasana, whatever that looks like today. And then just take a moment. If the back is an issue, you're welcome to keep your feet flat here. And just start to kind of connect with how the feet feel against the mat. So just take a few in and out breaths here through the nose. And start to notice how you feel. Take a little inventory from head to toe. Notice if there's any areas of pain, discomfort, sensitivities. Notice if you have a headache today, if you're feeling any pressure. This is also the time of seasonal allergies. So you might feel like you're coming down with a cold, but these are all symptoms that can be related to spring season. Notice how the back of the head feels on your blanket. Make sure that it's comfortable and it's soft. And feel free here to let your head roll from side to side a few times. Noticing if there's any creaks or cracks coming from the neck, the back of the head. And then coming back to center, let your arms be heavy. Notice how the mat and the floor feels underneath your arms. Visualize your fingers slightly curled in towards the palms. Everything is natural. No effort. Notice the back of your shoulders. And slowly make your way down here, the back of the rib cage, the top of the hip crest. Your glute muscles, your thighs, back of the thighs. Maybe that space between the mat and the back of the knees. Your calves, your heels, and then your feet up against the wall. Take a moment to press your left foot against the wall. Like really try to make connection, like as if you're trying to imprint the sole of your foot against the wall. And then when you do that, notice how it activates the leg muscles. So notice what's happened here. Did you feel your kneecap engage? Your quad muscle engage? And did you even feel the hip bone move? Or the femur move away from the hip bone? And then slowly release that leg completely. And notice what else may be released. Maybe you even felt the right arm and the right side of the body release. So we activate sometimes that cross-body patterning. So even though we were pressing into the left foot, the right arm instinctively engages to keep you balanced. Now do the same thing with the right foot. Start to press the right foot against the wall. Again, trying to connect every single place of your soul to the wall. Notice the muscles that have engaged here. And then slowly release. Then visualize the tops of your feet. Maybe give your toes a wiggle, so pull the toes away from the wall and instinctively bring some movement to your toes. But then flare your toes, give them a nice spread and press the ball of your feet down. And then start to bring every single toe back to the wall individually if you can. Nice and slow, take your time. And then relax the feet. Now press both feet against the wall. Try not to press the back of the head down, just work into your feet. And notice if one wants to work more than the other or how that feels. And then release that effort. Try to release again every part of the body, coming back to a place of peace and stillness. Then bring your awareness to the tops of your feet, the ankle bones, both shin bones, your knees, your thighs, the front of the hip bones, your belly button, your belly, the rib cage. Make sure it's soft and relaxed. Your chest, the collarbone, your jawline, and how it attaches to the neck, the earlobes, the ears. I go all the way around the face, outlining the face. And bring awareness to your lips, your nose, your cheeks. Your eyelids, eyebrows, your forehead, and the crown of your head. And gently wiggle your fingers and bring soft movement to them. And then make a fist, curling the knuckles or your fingers in towards the palm. And stretch your arms out and bring your arms slightly off the floor as you engage all the muscles in the arms. And then very slowly and lovingly bring your arms back down to the floor and let the fingers curl open. Take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Then take your left foot and walk it out so that the heel comes to the edge of your mat, the corner of your mat. And then you'll take your right leg and you'll cross it over your left leg without letting the right side of the body come off the mat. Bring your arms up above your head, and you can interlace your fingers, or your left hand can grab the right wrist, and you'll just start to gently jimmy your shoulder blades towards the left, and then you'll extend a little bit more into the whole right side of the body by grabbing onto that right wrist with the left hand and gently coming into a side bend. So you should almost feel like as if you're arcing like a banana. You want to keep your left foot pressing against the wall. And don't worry if the arms come up. And you're even welcome here, if you'd like, to remove the blanket from underneath your head. That might feel better, or it might feel worse. And then just breathe into the left ribs, or sorry, the right ribs, because this is what we're opening, the right ribs, the right hip bone. And then very slowly you're going to bring your torso back to center. You're going to open the arms back out like a T, and you're going to release your right foot out and let the right foot come flat on the wall again, and then just take a moment here. So now both feet are fairly wide because you've opened up that right foot as wide as you can, coming into the corner of the mat. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So you're going to pick up your left leg and you're going to cross it over the right ankle, trying to keep the whole left side of the body on the mat. And then start to slowly shift your shoulder blades over to the right side as you lift your arms above the head. Your right hand grabs the left wrist and you start to arc the body over towards the right, creating this kind of banana shape. Trying to keep both hip bones down, and so it's actually not the hip bones, but your the back of the hip crest rather. and both shoulder blades down. So now you're breathing into the left side of the rib cage, creating space, openness, and releasing tension in the muscles. And then very slowly you're going to release that left wrist, come back to center, open the arms out like a T, and then release the left foot. So once again, both feet are pressing against the wall. Your feet are either hip width or a little bit wider. Let's bring the feet flat on the mat, and you're going to take your strap here or your tie, whatever it is that you have. And by the way, if you don't have that, you could lift your right leg here and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. And this is acceptable for sure. So if you do have a strap or a tie, you're going to loop it around your right foot. And for the moment, you're just going to keep your left foot flat until we kind of become comfortable here. And don't worry about where your foot is. For some of us, there's so much tightness in the low back and the hamstrings that the foot is probably going to be a little bit closer to the wall. So you're just playing around with this. The intention here is to try to keep the right leg straight. Then you're going to stretch the left leg out and you're going to bring it back so that it's touching the wall. And there's a little bit of anchoring there with that left foot, so you're really pressing the left foot against the wall. So you're trying to hold the strap fairly close to your foot without bending in the knee. And what I'm going to ask you to do now is just allow your hand to pull your foot from side to side. So it's not the foot that's moving, it's your hand that's making your foot move. And you're basically like toggling your foot from side to side. And then you notice what's happening here while you do that. So you'll probably feel a little bit of effort and strength in that right arm. And then you'll probably also feel a little bit of tightness in the back of the right leg. Now what we're going to do is come back to center, and you're going to start to circle that foot. But again, it's not the foot or the leg that's working, it's the hand that's making the leg work. So you're going to start to circle clockwise with your hand. And your left foot continues to press against the wall. So what I'm doing now is I'm giving myself a little bit more space by allowing my hand to slide down the strap so that I can start creating a bigger circle. And now notice here my elbow is starting to bend because it's my hand that's making the leg move and not the other way around. And then we're going to reverse that. We're going to allow here the leg to go counterclockwise. Now in this movement, as you start to go counterclockwise, really start to notice how the leg feels all the way down into the hip bone, the hip joint. Again, there's no right or wrong here, it's just about being aware of how everything feels. And then we're going to bring that back to center, and then we're going to release that strap. So first bend into the right knee, release the strap, and just give your right knee a nice little hug. And before we switch to the other side, we're going to work a little bit into some abdominal work. So you're going to lift that knee away from the belly so that it creates a 90-degree angle. And you're going to extend your right arm out like a T, and you're going to bring your left fingertips to the side of your head on the left side. So we're going to do a one-sided kind of bicycle twist. On an exhale, you're going to come up and bring that elbow towards the knee, and then bring it back down. So notice here, I'm not bringing the knee towards the elbow, it's the elbow that's moving towards the knee. Now, if you can't go all the way up to the knee, don't worry about it. That's not the goal. The goal here is to strengthen our foundation, right? So we need a strong belly, strong back muscles. You know, always people are calling this your core, your center. So we want to work at stabilizing that. So you exhale as you come across, and then inhale as you come down. Exhale, come across, and inhale back down. And don't worry about the breath. You know, it doesn't have to be Ujjayi breath, it doesn't have to be 3-part breath, it can be whatever breath you're comfortable with, just don't hold the breath. We're going to do 3, 2, and 1. Bring your right foot down, and then bring your left foot flat so that both knees are pointing upwards. And just take a moment here. So here we're going to do a little bit of lying cat-cow, or what we call also arch and flatten. So try not to push too much into your feet. This is mostly coming from the pelvis area. So what I want you to do is tilt your pelvis so that you actually flatten your back against the floor. And then you're going to release completely, come to a place of neutral where there's no effort. And then you're going to arch. So now you're tilting the pelvis away from you, creating a bigger space between you and the mat. And then you release completely. You come back to neutral. So you're not going right away into the arch and right away into the flatten. So we're going to flatten again. You're going to curl your tailbone. And then you release. And then you arch. So now you shift your pelvis away from you. And then you release. We'll do that one more time. First we flatten. And then you release completely. And then we arch. And release. Beautiful. Okay, so now you're going to take your strap, your tie, or whatever, right? If you don't have anything, you're bringing your hands behind your hamstring. So we're working on the left leg, and if you have the strap, you're going to loop it around your left foot. And then you're going to stretch your right leg out so that the right foot comes to touch the wall. So make sure that the leg is straight and the knee doesn't bend. And all I want you to do first is notice how it feels. Notice any heaviness. Maybe the heaviness is sitting right there in that ball and socket joint where the femur sits inside the hip joint. And then you're going to just toggle. So remember, it's not the foot moving. Your hand moves the foot. And you'll notice that there's a point where you probably don't have to put a lot of effort into it because the foot naturally wants to fall somewhere. So notice that too. So I actually feel like as if there's more of me just having to pull the foot in as the leg naturally wants to fall out. One more time here. And then with that ankle bone over the hip, we're going to start to circle clockwise. So again, it's the hand. And the circles can be as big as they like. And one more here. And then we're gonna go counterclockwise. So this isn't about the size of your circle. This is about you connecting with the movement from hand to foot to your foundation, your center. And then one more circle here. Okay, very slowly we're going to bend the knee. We're going to release that strap. We're going to get the knee a little bit of a hug. And then you're going to shift your foot away or the knee away so that you create a 90-degree angle. You're going to extend your left arm. You're going to bring your right fingertips to your temple. Take a big breath in here. And on your exhale, you're going to bring your right elbow up towards your left knee, and then you're going to come back down. It's nice and slow. The right foot is always keeping you steady. It's anchoring you because it's still pressing against the wall. And you can start to maybe even pay attention to other things that are happening. When I come up with my right elbow, I also feel my right glute engaging, again to stabilize. We're going to do 4 more here. Remember, you're exhaling as you come up. 3 more. 2. Last one. Extend the right arm out like a T, bring your left foot flat. And then bring the right foot flat. And once again, we're going to come into arch and flatten. So lion, cat, cow, essentially. First, allow the spine and the hips to be completely neutral. So notice how this feels. So now we're going to go, we'll start in the opposite way. We're going to arch the back. So you're going to shift your pelvis away from you so that you create more of an arch in the body, and it doesn't have to be a big arch. And then you completely come back to center and you relax completely. And then you're going to flatten. So tilt the pelvis towards you. There's no space now between you and the mat. And then you release. 2 more rounds. We arch. We release. And there's no holding. And then we flatten. You're only there as long as you're still breathing in or breathing out. Release. Last round here, you're going to arch. Release. And then flat. And release. Okay, very slowly here, we're going to turn on our right side in fetal position. So take your bottom arm and place it underneath your head. Stack your knees one on top of each other. And just allow your left hand to rest wherever. And take a moment. Come back to the intention that you set. Notice how you feel. And then you're going to press your left hand against the floor. And you're going to slowly make your way up to tabletop position. So you're going to come to your hands and knees. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask you to stretch your left leg out and see if it actually touches the wall, because that's what we want. And then do the same thing with the right. As you know, sometimes one leg is longer than the other. And when you put your foot on the wall, you don't want to have it high, right? You want to have it at the height of your hip. So if I was turned to the side, height of the hip. Okay, you don't want to be here and you don't want to be down here, hip height. So your wrists are underneath your shoulders. You're going to curl your toes under so that there's a little bit more again of anchoring down on your feet, and you're going to stretch your right leg out and your right foot is touching the wall. Okay, so you should feel fairly comfortable here. Go ahead and back the hands up if you need to do that. Slowly here, we're going to extend the left arm and we're keeping the gaze down. And I want you to start to feel here the muscles that engage to keep you nice and solid. You don't want to collapse into the chest or the low back either. So there's a little bit of a pressing into the right hand and there's a pressing into the right foot. Our first affirmation here is I feel steady and calm. 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 You're going to slowly bring the right knee down first and then your left hand. Notice how you feel. You're going to extend the left leg. We're going to repeat this. Make sure the left foot is pressed against the wall, and then you're going to extend the right arm. Try to keep your whole torso nice and strong, so you're not letting the hips collapse. And again, we're repeating that affirmation of I feel steady and calm. 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 Bring your left knee back down to the floor, and then your right hand. Keeping the toes here curled under, we're going to slowly lift our hips up into downward facing dog. Shake your head out. Keep your knees slightly bent. There's no reason here to put a lot of stress into the back of the legs. Let your hips sway from side to side. Just stretch the body out from side to side. And then walk the dog out here nice and slow. So you're pedaling the left heel down, bending the right knee, and then doing the same thing on the other side. So the right heel comes down, left knee bends, and then one more on each side. And voila. Then both heels coming back down to the mat. Look towards the top of the mat, and you're going to walk your feet to the top of the mat. And you're going to take your time here. Come all the way up to the top of the mat. Your feet are underneath your hips. Grab opposite elbows. Let your belly rest on your thighs. So this is where you could actually place your elbows on your thighs. If you had the blocks, you could have the blocks underneath your hands. You want to make sure that you're not putting any strain into the body, right? So no strain into the low back, into the glutes, the hips, the knees. And then we're going to slowly walk the hands up the thighs, and we're going to come into mountain pose. In your mountain pose, take a moment and turn your palms forward. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and check in with your foundation. How do you feel? You can close your eyes, you can look down the bridge of the nose, whatever feels good for you. If closing your eyes doesn't feel good for you, you don't have to do that. And we're going to do some half salutations. Bring the hands to the heart center. And then take a nice inhale. Circle the arms up and let the palms come together. On an exhale, if you like, we can pause at the third eye. It allows us to take a moment and just connect. And then at the heart. And then softening those knees, bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Let your chin tuck in. Then bring the hands to the shins. Take a nice inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, let yourself fold forward. Again, knees are soft. You can either crawl your hands up your legs to come up nice and slow, or you can circle the arms out to the sides, bending those knees as you come fully to stand. Hands meet above the head, and then you exhale to the heart. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Take a nice inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale to the third eye, and then the heart center, and then all the way down to the earth. Hands coming to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Rise up, inhale. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale to the third eye, heart center, and to the earth. Halfway lift, inhale. This time we're going to exhale with the left foot coming back into a lunge position. Just take a moment here. Bring your left knee down to the earth and bring your right hand first up to your thigh, and you're just going to look over your right shoulder. Your left hand here stays down on the mat. Then bring the right hand back down to the mat. Pick up the left knee and come into plank position as you inhale. On your exhale, bring the knees down to the mat, then your belly and your forehead. So you come all the way down to the earth. Point the toes to the back of the room. Inhale, lift the heart into a cobra. Exhale, bring the forehead back down to the mat. Press into those hands. Inhale to table. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Look to your hands, and on an inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Take your time. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, step back with your right foot into a lunge position. Bring the right knee down to the mat and bring your left hand to your left thigh and look over your left shoulder. If this isn't accessible, again, your right hand can be on the block. Then bring your left hand back down to the mat. Inhale, come into plank position. Exhale, make your way down to the mat. So laying on the mat with your belly. Inhale to a baby cobra or lift the chin. Exhale, bring the forehead back down to the mat. Inhale, come into table. And then curl the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look to the top of the mat, and on an inhale, walk your feet to your hands. Exhale, let yourself fold. Rise up as you inhale, palms meet. Exhale to the heart. Release your hands back into Tadasana, so mountain pose. Palms forward. Our affirmation here is I face life's challenges with an open heart. 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 Okay, allow yourself here to come to the center of your mat. And we're going to come in to tree pose. Actually, you know what? We're going to actually come to the wall because I want you to be able to feel nice and steady here. So you're going to come to the wall and your bum is going to be on the wall and your feet are a little further away because you want to make sure that you feel nice and steady. But we're going to come into tree pose. So we're going to stay on the right foot and you're going to take your left foot and you're going to bring it into tree. Tree level 1, you're on the ball of your left foot and your heel is resting against your inner right leg. Level 2, the foot is sitting on the calf, and level 3, it's all the way up into the groin. Now I'm actually leaning here on the wall, and it feels fantastic. You can actually also turn and have your hand on the wall instead. Come into your tree pose. Here you only have one hand available at the heart, and maybe if you're growing your tree, but it doesn't really matter. It's whatever feels good for you. So, if I'm facing you and I allow my shoulders to touch the wall, then I can be here in my tree pose, hands at the heart, and I allow myself to rest against the wall. So this is kind of fun because you can play around with having both butt cheeks up against the wall and both shoulder blades. And your hands can stay at the heart, or you can raise them up. You can interlace your fingers, pointing your index, or you can open them out like a Y, pretending that your tree has bloomed. You've got a crabapple tree or whatever. Just have some fun with it, don't take it too seriously, and make sure you're smiling. Try to relax the shoulders. Relax the hips. Our affirmation in our tree pose is I grow from strong roots. And really press that right foot down. I grow from strong roots. I grow from strong roots. I grow from strong roots. We'll slowly bring the hands back down to the heart. My gaze is down the bridge of the nose. And then we'll release that foot. And we can take a moment here. We'll come back into Tadasana. So your feet are hip width apart. You're going to let the arms come down beside the body with your palms facing forward. And then we're going to repeat this on the other side. So again, pick what you want to do. It doesn't matter. It's whatever feels comfortable for you. And have fun with it. So we're going to stay on the left foot. You're going to place your right foot wherever you want it to go. Because I'm leaning up against the wall, I don't mind coming all the way into level 3. I can feel both sit bones, both shoulder blades, which is really fun. Hands are at the heart. I'm looking down the bridge of the nose. I allow myself to settle. I'm not putting any strain here into my standing knee. There's a slight softness to that knee. Raise the arms up, interlacing the fingers, pointing your index. Sapana Mudra. Sapana Mudra allows us to release things that don't serve us very well. So if you need to let go of stuff, you're welcome to stay here. Or you can open your arms out once again. Your tree's blooming, it's flowering. I grow from strong roots. 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 First the hands come back to center, and then you release the right foot. Come back to Tadasana. Okay, we'll come to stand at the top of the mat. If you'd like a sip of water, feel free to go ahead and do that. Our next exercise is our wonderful wood chopper. And then we follow that by the breath of joy. So in our wood chopper, your feet are going to be slightly wider than your hips. And your knees are going to be slightly soft. Because again, you don't want to lock them. Essentially, we're chopping wood. again, it's to release tension in the muscles and to allow you to release what you're holding on to. So in our wood chopper, we're going to do about 8 rounds. They suggest up to 17 rounds, so you can do as many rounds as you'd like. You're pretending to chop wood, so it's going to look like this. We're going to inhale, and you're going to pretend like one hand is going to be on top of the other. So you're going to inhale, and on your exhale, you're going to release as you bring the arms down. Ha! With your knees bent. So there is the affirmation first. The affirmation, so first of all, I'm going to have you hold on to your axe like you're holding on to something. You could even hold on to something at home if you wanted to. We're going to inhale and raise the arms up above the head and exhale here. You can look down the bridge of your nose. You could even have your eyes closed if you want to. You're looking to soften the energy as much as possible. I safely release anger to open my heart. That's the affirmation. We'll repeat it 3 times. I safely release anger to open my heart. I safely release anger to open my heart. I safely release anger to open my heart. Another big breath in. And then we begin. Ha! 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 Last one here. Ha! And on your last one, just allow yourself to stay in ragdoll. So ragdoll, your hands are down to the mat. You're folding forward here. Your knees are soft. And you're checking in. How did that make you feel? And don't be surprised if emotions come up, because that's the whole point. We're trying to really peel away the layers and layers and layers of anger and fear and whatever junk has come up. Take your time here. We're going to slowly walk the hands up the legs, and if you're not ready to come up, you could just stay in ragdoll, or you could come into child's pose. You could pause this video if you needed to. So we're going to slowly come up. We don't want to feel dizzy after that exercise. And just stand here in Tadasana. Take a moment. So I apologize if that was really loud. I tend to have a really loud wood chopping exercise voice. I actually really like that exercise. I think it's a lot of fun. So we always follow this with the breath of joy, because now that we've released some of that stuff, some of those layers, we want to invite love and compassion and joy back into our hearts. So in the breath of joy, the movement of the arms has to do with honoring Mother Earth, which is really fantastic right now, because she's trying to protect us, always trying to protect us. So what we're trying to do here is we want to, when you do the breath of joy, this is what it looks like. We inhale forward, inhale out, inhale up, and then we exhale. It's a 3-part inhale. So you're not in and out, in, out, in, out. It's inhale a little bit, you take a little sip of air, another little sip of air, and then another little sip of air. And then you let it go, nice and softly. So when we bring our arms forward, we're honoring the earth. When we bring our arms out to the side, we're honoring the trees. And when we bring our arms up to the sky, we're honoring the sun, moon, and the stars. So everything comes together really nicely, which I love. Okay, so feet are hip width apart, knees are nice and soft. We're going to do about 5 rounds. You're welcome to do a few more rounds. You can always pause this. Okay, so the affirmation first is, I fill my open heart with the breath of joy. I fill my open heart with the breath of joy. I fill my open heart with the breath of joy. I fill my open heart with the breath of joy. And once we're done, we're also going to stay in ragdoll. So we begin. Take a nice inhale. 2 more rounds. Last one. Let yourself hang out. Another wonderful intention here in Ragdoll is I release all tensions and anxieties. 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 Allow yourself here to slowly come into a child's pose. So you can let the right or left knee come down first, and then widen those knees and let your belly be soft here between your thighs as you stretch the arms out and bring your forehead to rest on the mat. Notice the breath. Notice how you feel. Notice any vibration or heat or coolness that's come up in the body. Again, you don't need to dwell on it and you don't have to dissect it. You're just noticing it. You're being aware. Does the breath feel deeper? Does it feel more nourishing right now? Or does it feel erratic? Do you feel anxiety? Because if you feel those things, that's okay too. When we're not used to a practice and we're not used to affirmations, it might make you feel a little bit awkward, and that's okay. It's all about the practice. When you feel ready, we're going to come up. Again, you can grab a little sip of water. You can come to sit on your mat, and we'll just take a nice gentle twist here. So easy sitting. Allow your left leg to be closer than your right leg, and then place your left hand on your right thigh and your right hand behind you, and take a nice inhale, lengthen, lift the heart, press the sit bones down, and as you exhale, look over the right shoulder. And when you're ready, slowly come back to center. And we're going to switch the legs up, so you're going to take your left leg and place it in front of the right leg, and tuck them in nice and close if that feels good for you. If the knees are an issue, you can move the feet away from the body. Pressing the sit bones down, you'll place your right hand on your left thigh and your left hand behind you. You could even have a block or a blanket underneath your left hand. Take a big breath in as you press the sit bones down. You open the heart, and on the exhale, you gently use your hands here, and your chin turns towards the left shoulder. And then very slowly, you'll come back to center. Take a little pause here. Stretch your legs out. Give them a little bit of a shake up. Take your blanket once again, and you're going to come to lie on your mat. And we're going to do a couple of different, a little bit of a stretch, and then we're going to come into legs up the wall. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to stretch the hips out. So you're going to bring your bum closer to the wall where your knees are bent and your toes are actually touching the wall. And you're going to come down onto the elbows, nice and slow. And move your head here on the blanket, and then place your both feet on the wall, flat on the wall. Okay, so you should be almost sitting like you're in a chair. Your knees may not be at 90-degree angle, but that's okay. We're going to come into figure 4 stretch. So if you need to, you can slide your legs up the wall here, and you can place your right ankle over your left thigh, and let the right knee come away from you, so towards the wall, and then bring your left foot flat. So figure 4 stretch. Maybe the right hand here presses that right knee away. And just Again, pay attention to the sensation into the right hip. Try to keep your hips down towards the ground, so if your bum is coming off the floor as well as the hips and low back, then you're too close to the wall. You'll have to back up a little bit. So very slowly here, you can start to stretch that left foot out and then release the right leg, and we're going to move to the other side. So you're placing your left ankle across the right thigh. You're bringing the right foot flat. Your left hand can gently coax your left knee away a little bit here. You can even spread your toes. And you're breathing in and out through the nose. Start to notice here the breath a little bit more. Notice how it feels moving into the nostrils, down the back of the throat, belly rising and falling. And then you'll slowly allow that right foot to slide away so that you can release the left foot. Okay, so here's where we can come a little bit closer to the wall. So you're going to come into legs up the wall. So you can kind of shift your hips from side to side until your bum is touching the wall. And ideally in legs up the wall, you would love to have your legs nice and long, but for some of us, if we have tighter hamstrings or low back, this is not happening. Your bum is not going to be touching the wall, and that's okay. So I want you to play around with it, and you want to get to the point where your arms are out like a T, your bum's touching the wall, your legs are nice and long, but let your feet relax here completely. So we're coming into our Shavasana. If you had bags of rice, you could actually place that against the low belly. If you had a weight bag, you could place that against the low belly. You could cover yourself with a blanket. You could cover yourself with an eye pillow. Yeah, there's a lot of different options. And or if this doesn't feel good, you can just come into regular Shavasana. So I'm going to come off the wall here. I want you to stay here in this position in the Shavasana, and I will guide you through a relaxation. So just make sure that you're comfortable. If again, if closing your eyes isn't something that feels comfortable for you, you're welcome to keep your eyes open. Allow yourself here to just be in this moment, right? You're giving yourself this wonderful opportunity of stillness, of health for the body, even an opportunity to, rejuvenate, catch your second breath. Give yourself that little push that you might need in your day, because you could do this at any time now, this practice whenever you need it. Once you feel fully comfortable and relaxed in your space, just kind of notice your body. Be aware of it. Your breath now should not be audible, but it should be slow and relaxed. Make sure that you're warm. Take a moment and just press your low back against the floor. Maybe tuck the tailbone towards the heels a little bit more. There's no effort, so you want to let go of any effort. Make sure that your teeth are slightly separated so that your jaw is relaxed. And the breath is deep and even and smooth. in and out through the nose, and again without sound. Start to breathe in peace and relaxation. Feel it in your body. And then exhale and release all tensions, all anxieties and all worries, any doubts, and that ever long to-do list. Your arms and your legs are warm and heavy. Allow gravity to take over. And give yourself full permission to relax. Use your breath to nurture yourself. I want you to silently repeat to yourself, I love and accept myself exactly as I am right now. I love and accept myself exactly as I am right now. I love and accept myself exactly as I am right now. Breathe in acceptance. Exhale and release all self-hate, all self-judgment. Allow yourself to open and to receive the goodness and the relaxation. All fatigue is leaving your body. Your bodily energy is flowing freely and evenly. And I'd like you to silently say again to yourself, I allow myself to relax completely. I allow myself to relax completely. I allow myself to relax completely. Feel your body opening and releasing all your tensions as it relaxes completely. Your body is fully supported by the floor and you're very relaxed. Now visualize a warm, healing light shining just above your body. This warm and healing light is shining down upon you, sending love and warming energy to every cell and every atom. And all you have to do is to receive it. Breathe into this light. This warm and healing light is calming and healing for your entire body. Continue taking long, deep, even breaths through the nose, breathing in honesty, exhaling and releasing all denial. Breathing in trust and faith, exhaling and releasing all fear. Breathing in forgiveness, exhaling resentment and anger. Breathing in goodness and exhaling all guilt. Allow yourself to open and expand. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to completely relax and to heal. Nurture yourself with deep breathing and positive thinking. And again, silently affirming to yourself, I am worthy of healing. I deserve to be well. I am worthy of healing. I deserve to be well. I am worthy of healing. I deserve to be well. Give yourself permission to feel the ocean of love that's waiting for you and within you. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. And resting and releasing completely. When you feel ready to move, just gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Let your head fall from side to side, nice and slow. And when you're ready, maybe the inhale allows you to bring the arms out to the side or up above the head, maybe grabbing on those fingertips. Stretch the body out fully. And then side out as you're ready to release. Let's bring the hands to the heart center and Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. You're welcome to stay where you are, or you could slowly come up to a seated position. So we take a moment here of gratitude for our health, and not just our physical health, but our mental health. And keeping the hands in prayer position, bring the thumbs to rest against your third eye, that point between your eyebrows. Take a moment here and know how blessed you are with your family, your friends, and their love and support every single day. Then draw the hands back to the heart, and we seal our practice with Namaste. Thank you, everyone.